Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Lightyear Frontier, shall we? All right. You see that sinister, shimmery nightmare up there? That means the planet is crying, according to Barrett, and we need to go help it. But there's one thing I want to tell you right away that has changed since I did my review, since I played the game in early access, that I want to update. So now the game does draw from storage if you're nearby. So if I go to my oil press, I can build plant oil here from anything that's inside my storage and that I'm carrying, as long as it's within range. So if I go to the oil press and I try to use it, you'll see in the upper right corner it says storage in range 1. That means our chest is in range. And the range is pretty large as far as I've been experimenting with it. So I'm going to queue up a bunch of plant oil just to get that going. You pretty much always want to have the oil presser and any of these structures and facilities that do production over time. You want to have those queued up so that they're working for you if you can. It's not always feasible, but that's amazing. I love that they changed that. It is a huge quality of life boost. But also it works for construction. So if I want to build this, for example, it'll draw from your chest, even if you want to do the construction over here. Now I just need some wood to get this going, and I can just go over here and hold X to all of these plots that I've blueprinted in and just put on the fiber. So easily we can kind of just walk down here and, you know, just clear out our area, turn on our light. Now, if you don't like working at nighttime, you can go ahead and just rest once it's evening or night and pass to the next day. All right, there's a bunch of lumber for us that we can come use, but as you see already, the sun is getting started on coming back up. And I'm going to just finish all of these, just holding X with the right resources, and I need 6 more lumber to get that going, and that's really not a problem at all. Wonderful. Okay, so now I can just stroll over here and finish putting in all of our plots, and those are done. Now I said we would do a couple of things in this episode. First, we'll check out the upgrade depot. So I'm going to push X, and all you have to do is push X, and your mech just kind of interfaces with this, and you'll immediately pop out of your mech when it's docked in the upgrade station. Then all you have to do is walk up to this terminal and push X to look at the upgrades. And you have 2 tabs here, mech upgrades and mech customization. So let me just tell you that mech customization is cosmetic, and mech upgrades are your tech upgrades that actually have game impact. So, new day is passing. We get taken to the cutscene for day 5, and the resources repop. And here we are. Let's go back to this.
Good morning, sleepyhead. I can't stop admiring those nice decorations you built yesterday.
Me neither.
You've really got an eye for that kind of thing.
Thank you.
We've got trouble. Better check the crops.
Okay, we do. Let's go check them in a second. And I want to look at what we can make, though. So, for example, we could do a siege shooter lock-on. I love this upgrade. We could do irrigation hose hydro splash. We want this. We could do water tank capacity, boost how much water we can hold. All of these are awesome. Now, I'm going to get this. Oh, we have an event. Okay, that's what they meant. See this event that's happening right here? I'm going to get in my mech. I got to get in the mech right away. I thought she meant weeds were growing. No. Okay, if she tells you this, she means that there are bubbles. Okay, so if you see these bubbles, all you have to do is come over here and spray them with your hose. Whenever they're light pink, you just spray them before they expand and get so big that they explode and put garbage all over your farm. Now, I'm out of water, so I have to go get some more water. Do not worry, you can fix all of the damage that they cause But you notice how the music has changed to tell you every once in a while
Nice one.
you'll have these like different daily events, and it says noxious bubbles, hazardous event complete. So we got some of it. Actually, the noxious bubbles thing is cool because it gives you this resource, which are noxious pods, and we can process these later into something. We'll talk about that. Now, these weeds right here that have come in our plot, all we need to do is use the vacuum harvester to pick those up, and they do give you plant fiber. And then for all of this slime that's happened, this is just a result of the bubbles bursting. We just need to spray it. So just spray it with your hose, and then it kind of gives like a bursting effect to tell you it's all gone. And this doesn't ruin your farm at all. It just kind of sets you back time-wise because you want to get this stuff out of here, and you have to fill up your water and do that. But it's not a huge deal. This is why we situated ourselves near the water. So I switch to my vacuum harvester. I fill up my water until the gauge is all the way full there. Then we switch back to our irrigation hose. Now, I had to abort being inside the upgrade station really fast once I realized that she's not just telling us about the fact that weeds can sprout in your farm. She's telling you that there's a event going on. So if you hear the music change and you hear the AI tell you we got problems, just try and get to your farm and your plots and defend them from the kind of little mini game event. This is one reason why you want to be at your base when the new day comes, because in my experience, those always happen at the beginning of the day. But they might happen other times. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how as the game progresses. But as far as I've seen, they've happened like basically right within a few hours of the new day starting. All right. So now we could show off our upgrade. You see that slime touched our crops? It didn't kill them. There's polyberries here. And we did it. So those are done. And when your crops are done, you just vacuum them up. There's a few things I want to say right here. All of these relate to how awesome and friendly this game is. Number one, the hazardous event didn't destroy my crops. It might if it landed on it directly, but I don't think so. Number two, if you use the vacuum cleaner to pull up your crops and the crop is not ready, you do not kill it, it just won't come up. So this is a very friendly game. It's not meant to punish you at all. Alright, now let's go to our seed shooter. Let's show off our new upgrade. So normally when we did this before, we were shooting at each individual square. And when you are, I'll look in first person. When you're looking at a square in your plot, you could see where the different squares are. This is a 3x3 plot that I can fill up all of these with one seed each. But now that we have this upgrade, I can hold down. Here we go. Oh, did I install it? Let me see if I'm not sure if I actually finished my upgrade. Let me see if I did. I think I just ran out so fast. Okay, no, I didn't. So this is what we want. We can build the seed shooter lock-on. Now, you could go through all of these and look at them to see what you really want, but many of these are gated behind resources that we don't yet have. This one, however, we can get. All right, and I've just acquired it. Then, when we go here,
Time for some action.
now, with my seed shooter lock-on, look at this. I can hold L2, or left trigger, and I can lock on up to 9 targets. And while I'm doing that, you just kind of aim around and it will lock on. The little green arrow pointing down means that that's locked on. Then you push right trigger once to shoot, and you automatically hit every single tile that you need. It makes farming so much easier. It's like a homing rapid-fire machine gun. It's so good. And I only have 8 seeds left, but I'll plant them all full. Now, these are already watered. You can tell by the darker color there. Now, what I'm going to do then is just water this one. Well, to be honest, I was going to water it, but there's no reason to because there's no seeds there. All right, great. So let's start doing another thing I wanted to talk about, which is we are going to build the fodder oven. So we have an assembler, but we don't have a fodder oven. So you build it in the shed. You make sure that little blue line is hitting it. And I like to, build it closer to the edge so it's easier to get to. You see in the bottom center of the screen, it says storage in range 1. So this means we're close enough to our storage, and we're just going to place it. Then to build this, we need wood and we need stone. So no problem at all. Let's go get that stuff. These trees have already grown back. So we're just going to go over here and pick up a bunch of wood and use the left trigger attack so that you can hit more than one tree at once. It makes gathering resources a breeze. All right, there we go. And I'm going to run over here. And we can fill this in. I'm just going to add the wood that I need. And then here's some stone. Just going to kind of clear out some space in my area. All right. We need more stone. So let's run down here. Sadly, there's no aluminum in these immediate plots. And we're going to solve that problem soon. But here's some stone. So remember, if you can actually harvest the stone, the name will display. It'll say rock. Like this I can get. But if it's just the environment like this, I can't drill into that and take stone from that. And here's some aluminum for us right over here. This I can get stone from. Just have to get close enough. I'll take some blue cornflower. We got a sprout too, which is new. And we'll just go over here and get this aluminum. And I want to pick it up, but we're over encumbered. I'll still pick it up anyway, but this means we can't really move very quickly. If I try to run, it says over encumbered. It's not the end of the world, it's just slow. But the reason is because I picked up a lot of stone. You can always push select and look at your inventory and just kind of hover over your icons and select them to see which ones are the heaviest. Now, I will immediately deposit the resources into the fodder machine here, the oven. There we go, it's done. So now I could go to this, and what we want to make are basic fodder. So I'm going to push A, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to push X to just craft the maximum fodder that I can. And I've made it. And then I'm going to queue up some plant oil. Now, what's neat is I'm going to go into my inventory. You see, I made 14 basic fodder. All it took was plant oil. Actually, you can read the ingredients right here. It just takes plant oil and fiber. Nice fodder, takes polyberry oil and plant fiber, which we'll make soon. But now we have some food. And I'll show you what happens with this. So you see this guy right here? He's asleep. So we should be able to sneak up on him while he's sleeping and give him food. And so you just push X on him, and it says sharing is caring, feed an animal. So we fed 1 of 3. And this polyberry, he dug up for us, so we get a free polyberry. But you can also come over here and just feed their nest. It gives you credit for the quest, but you don't get an item. But if I sneak up on this guy and feed it...
Hey there, little fella.
Boom. He gives us a polyberry and we complete the quest. So, I'm going to go over to the Ratscallion nest and show you. I'm going to turn on my light. It's getting dark. It's R3 to do that on the controller. These guys also, we could try to maybe sneak up on them. But if you don't want to sneak up, you can just get out of your mech and you can walk over to them and feed them.
Wildlife here is amazing.
And you can see I give them this big piece of food, and you can watch them eat. And then they dig up some resources for you. This guy dug up aluminum. And you see the hearts, they're happy. They're like, thank you. And I'm just going to hold L2 and pick up these resources and just walk back to my mech. And all you have to do is kind of like put them into your mech by just getting them close enough, and your mech will vacuum it up. Now we've fed 2 out of the 3 animals in this area, and we're going to run. Oops, am I going the right way? Yes, I am. I'm going to run over to the shore. So we just move over here to the northeast to the coast, and we need to feed the crabs. I'm also going to just pick up these polyberry seeds. You can't have enough polyberry early. And, polyberry at first, it's kind of tedious to farm, but once we get a couple of upgrades, it's going to make our life so much easier for farming. Now, I'm going to, again, get out of the mech, and I'm going to do this on foot so I don't scare the animals. So this crab guy, I can feed. Okay. Now, we can't go into the water, however. So I can get the polyberry, but because of the water, I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to feed all the animals in the area. So you see how it says 3 out of 3 nests fed? This is going to come into play in just one moment. Let's go back to our base. I don't know if we'll have enough time to make this happen, but I'm going to try. What I'd love to be able to do is rest with 1 coziness and get all of the boosts for a day in the meadows. And the 2 boosts that I'm talking about are coziness boost and from having fed the animals. We're going to get the animals being fed boost, but we need to build some more structures to get cozy, and I don't know if we have enough ready to go for that. So I'm going to walk over here, and I'm going to say decorations. What can we build decoration-wise? We built those 2. We could build a campfire, sure. So you just want to build a little campfire that's close enough. Okay, we're almost there. We can't build this yet because we don't have plant oil, but we should have plant oil. I'm just going to put this nice and close right there. Plant oil, here we go. I'm going to queue this up with polyberry oil. So this is our first time making polyberry oil. Okay, how we doing? Almost there. All right. And what other decorations can we make? What do we take for this? All right, blue flower bled. Yeah, make this. Put it right over here. We did it. All right, so Keen Eye, the new effect, is open. I'm going to get out of my mech, and I'm going to sleep. And new day. So it's now, we get a new screen. 3 out of 3 nests fed, plus 3 resource restored boost in this region, and we have Keen Eye.
I'm feeling really good about today. Bet we'll run into something amazing.
I hope so. So I just built like 2 torches, a flower bed, a fire, and my area looks really, really hodgepodge, but you can always just push B and then push in right stick for recycling mode. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, it'll tell you the key commands if you're using keyboard to go in recycling mode. And then you just select something and push A to recycle it, push B to cancel that, and you will get your full resources back. So you can like rearrange your base once you get more stuff that you're excited about. Now, it's raining. In third-person mode, it's pretty obvious here, but sometimes it's hard to see if it's raining. If you go to first-person mode, you can always tell if it's raining because there's going to be raindrops all over your windshield. So this means we don't have to water our crops. We did get some weeds, though. Now, the cool thing about weeds in this game, they give you fiber. They're easy to take care of. But also, they only happen if you don't have something planted. So I'm just going to fill this up. We get a free water for today.
Fresh soil, neat seed.
And bam. Plants take about 1 day of watering, and like from seed to a full day of growing and watering, and then they're ready the next day. So they're really, really fast. And with this upgrade, we are able to crush planting. All right, and it looks like we made a bunch of polyberry oil. So this is a new resource, and this will allow us to do a bunch more things. I'm going to make some more. But you'll notice how I'd really like to have another oil presser. So can I build one in my shed? And the answer is yes. I do have space to do this. So I'm going to use free mode by pushing left bumper so I'm not using snap mode. And I'm going to try to just... actually, we could just build it like this so it spits out to the side. This is fine. And then I'm going to build it, and it's done. I do need some more stone to finish it. The reason I'm building another presser is because you can only queue up 5 things at a time, and it takes real-life time for them to make. So you want to have sometimes more than one of any resource that does that so that you can be generating a bunch of stuff if you get behind or you want to make multiples of an item. I'm full on water. Great. Now look at this. Because we fed all those animals, do you see? Because I see. Oh, let me talk about that. How much aluminum has spawned. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. We got the keen eye buff going on. And keen eye means that... is it anywhere in my screen? There probably is a way to get a readout of it, but keen eye, what it does is gives you a chance to get extra resources whenever you have it. So if you see this little, like, there it goes, that little kind of pine tree icon, that means I normally would get 4 aluminum, but I got 8. So you see how I just got 4 that time, but if you get that little keen eye icon like that, then you just got double resources. Now, he's not picking up the resources. If you ever wonder why they're not picking it up, it's because you're carrying too much. So we're going to go back and drop off some stuff. But that's why you want to get yourself to coziness level 1, so you can get that keen eye perk that just gives you a chance to double harvest. It's super nice. All right. And I'm going to walk over here, and I'm going to go into my assembler. Now, I have a bunch of aluminum, so I'm going to make some aluminum parts. I'm just going to make, I can make 4. I'm going to make 4, and it takes polyberry oil. I couldn't make it before. This is my first time making it because I had no polyberry oil, but now we do. We're going to finish making this presser. Oh, we need some more stone. I'm going to go into the storage box, and I'm going to put some stuff in here that's heavy. I'm going to put all the, like, the aluminum. There we go. So I can carry more stuff. I don't need to carry these flowers. These don't take any weight at all. I just like to put everything away. Oop, the food, though. You want to have the food on you at all times so you could feed animals. Like, for example, right here. And he gave us aluminum. Did you see that? What a nice guy. All right. So let's go get some stone. There's plenty over here. And plus, while we're over here, it's a good opportunity for us to just gather a ton of aluminum. And yep, double resources. Look, all of these have repopped because we fed the animals. So it should be said, at the beginning of the game, it's not a problem. But as you go, you're going to get into a spot where, like, you can't do everything in one day. Feeding all the animals in every single zone is not necessarily going to be the easiest thing for you unless you prioritize that. But then you might not have enough time to garden. In these kinds of games, I know for myself personally, I can feel overwhelmed, feel like I'm rushed, and I'm not getting stuff done. As far as I can tell, in this game, there is no rush at all. So, yes, days are passing, but you're not under the gun. So don't worry about it. The only thing that happens if you don't feed the animals is that you don't get a big repop. But if you don't need a repop of those resources, then it's not something you worry about. It's just if you need a lot of aluminum, then and you've gathered it all, go feed the animals so you can get a bunch the next day. That kind of stuff. Alright, this is done. So I'm going to start making plant oil right here. Now, we can't make any more berry oil. I'm going to make plant oil here as well. Because we are out of polyberries. So we need for all of these to mature, which they will tomorrow, so that we can let that happen. Now, another thing you can do, I'm going to go into the tech depot here. And I'm going to walk here. And I'm going to look at the mech upgrades. So this upgrade right here, irrigation hose hydro splash, is insane. I want this so badly, but we can build it because all it takes is 5 aluminum parts. But water tank capacity is also awesome. You see it takes 18 polyberry oil. So that's a lot. And if I want to remember to store up 18 polyberry oil, you see how at the bottom left of the screen for the Y button it says create mission? This is like pinning a recipe. So you can push Y and it will ask you to confirm this and you say yes. And then it's basically giving you a quest just up in the upper left where your quest icons are to get polyberry oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and craft this. Bam. And we are rocking and rolling right now. I could have also made spike saw power 1 if I wanted to. And I can't do this just yet. But let me show you what this will do for me. Get in the mech. So now it's raining, so I don't need it, but I'll show you. If I go to my irrigation hose, you'll see how in the bottom right, it will tell you if you get a new feature. Hydro splash is left trigger. What this means is like you charge up your gun, and you see how there's a big ball of water happening on the end of my cannon, and then there's this circle of influence that's on the ground that grows until I'm fully charged. This will let you, if you aim it right, hit an entire plot with one go. It uses water proportional to watering 9 tiles, but it lets you do it. You don't have to aim super carefully. You just put it at the middle, basically, and try to hit every tile, and then you push right trigger and you launch this ball of water that will water all of your crops for you. It's so nice. Okay. So, before the next day passes, one thing you can do, well, I'm going to go ahead and just gather all of these polyberries just to get ready. What I like to do in these games is build enough flower beds that are... I'm just going to feed this twice just to get the credit for feeding the nest to repop the resources. I won't get any resources from them, but that's okay. I'm going to get out of my mech here and feed these guys. I like to build enough flower beds.
Some things you just have to do yourself.
That's right. Proportional to how reasonably I can take care of the crops. Oh, I'm out of food. So I need to make some more food. All right, these guys gave me a polyberry. And what is this, a stone? Okay, thank you. So what does that mean? What I mean is, now that we have 2 upgrades where we can rapid fire plant the seeds and we can water more easily, then we can actually expand our growing operation because it takes less time for us to care for the crops. Before, when we're doing everything tile by tile, it's really tedious. But as these mature in the next day, they're going to grow into a full polyberry, and when we vacuum it, we will get both polyberries and seeds, which means we'll have seeds, we'll have polyberries, and we can continue growing this. Now, you don't want to make your farming thing insane, but it's nice to be able to grow more so you can make more oil, and eventually when the merchant arrives, we can actually sell these polyberries if we want for money. But usually you want to sell your treasures and stuff. But yes, just like in Stardew, you could sell your crops for money if you're interested. Alright, so we have a bunch of plant oil built. I'm going to make a few aluminum frames just to have these handy. And then as far as the fodder oven goes, yes, we want to make max fodder and oil presser. I can make some polyberry oil. Get that going. Alright, beautiful. So we are doing so well. And I'm going to tell you that you do not need to sleep every day to keep your buff, your keen eye. The keen eye happens once you trigger it and you keep your sleeping area, your house, at level 1 coziness. You will just have this buff. So you don't need to worry about resting, but you can. And if you want to see what the buff is, you can interact with the house, and it says you have a chance to find additional resources in the wild. And that's what it does. And as you build your coziness level, you get new perks. All right, everybody. Awesome. So we took care of animals. We upgraded our mech. We have got to level 1 coziness, and we are doing beautifully in Lightyear Frontier. This is a good place to end the second episode of our beginner's guide. We're going to continue this series in the next episode, talking about purging areas of or restoring areas, purging them of the infection, and expanding our operation even further. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care.